So question 3 from the audience, Mr. Dent, is what steps should the legislature take to preserve the vanishing resource of sagebrush steppe? And you have 90 seconds.
We need to manage our lands. We have to manage our public lands. And as long as we don't do that, as long as we continually set it up for wildfire damage and for everything that goes on out there, we will not solve these problems. And I hear a lot about from different folks, we're going to preserve this, we're going to preserve habitat. Well, there's 600,000 acres out there right now that was pretty good habitat 1st of September, and it's black. And I posted some pictures on my Facebook page that I took. I flew out over the other day and looked at the one up by Davenport, and it's totally black. So we're having a forum with the cattlemen, with the Department of Natural Resources, with the Fish and Wildlife, with the United States Department of Agriculture, and the U.S. Forest Service in Davenport coming up on the 19th of October at the sale yard there in Davenport. And we're going to discuss these very issues on how we can preserve our habitat, yet manage our rangeland, because it's so important that we manage that and actually manage all of our public lands. They have to be managed. We just can't let them sit there and do nothing, because what causes a fire is fuel and an ignition source. And if we don't manage them, then we have excessive fuel and an ignition source, and then we have a catastrophic wildfire. So it's up to us. We can manage it and slow down the burn, or we can just let it burn.
Thank you. Mr. Castañeda-Díaz, I'm going to read the question again. What steps should the legislature take to preserve the vanishing resource of sagebrush steppe? And you have 90 seconds to respond.
Thank you. I just wanted to respond to the previous question and give one more statement. I think that mental health for children is very important. And that's why we should protect all children, including LGBTQ children, and vote to outlaw the traumatic practice of conversion therapy, which my opponent voted to maintain.
We need to stay on this question, yes, if we could.
In regards to the question, I agree with Tom Dent. I believe that we have to take care of our land, including our sagebrush. We need to maintain our land in a manner that protects us from wildfires. That's one of the things that Tom Dent and I see eye to eye.
Good, thank you. Well, we're now going to move to closing statements, and we begin with Mr. Castañeda-Díaz. You have 60 seconds.
Thank you all for this event, the League of Women Voters Daily Record. My opponent, Tom Dent, I thank you for taking a part of your day to be here to keep our democracy going. It's a very important time for us to look forward towards change, to moving our state forward to an equitable state that is good for all, not just a select few, to include those who are impoverished, people of color, people who are mentally ill, and everybody else who is marginalized in our states. I believe that it's time to part ways with the ways of the past, a way that has been funded by mega corporate donors. As a people-powered campaign, I invite people to visit our website at electeduardo.com, ELECTEDUARDO.com, for further information on our policy points. And I invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you for this invitation.
Thank you. Mr. Dent, you have 60 seconds for your closing statement.
Thank you very much, and thank you again for this forum. I do most certainly appreciate it, appreciate your time as well. Politics is relationships, and you build relationships to make things happen, and you build those relationships based on trust and respect. And that's how you work together. Relationships aren't friendships, they're relationships and ability to work together. And that's how you work with folks that maybe have different ideas. But I will tell you that all of us one-on-one have more in common with each other than we don't. And we need to build on that. And that's how we solve problems. And we don't attack people, we attack ideas. And you attack ideas with better ideas. And that's so important that we do that. That's how we get there. That's how we make it happen. And that's how come I've been so successful in the legislature. I have a lot of friends on the other side of the aisle. And my best friend, one of my best friends is on the other side of the aisle. He's pretty close. He's not way left, but he's not way right either. So that's how you make it happen. I am honored to serve the people. My door is always open to everyone in this district. And matter of fact, people statewide call me on a regular basis. So thank you again for having this forum.
I would like to thank Tom Dent and Eduardo Castañeda-Díaz for sharing their views and their willingness to serve as state representative for Legislative District 13 in Position 1. We want to thank our co-sponsor, the Ellensburg Daily Record newspaper, and Ellensburg Community Television, Spectrum Network, and Inland Networks for showing the forum videos throughout the voting season. Finally, thank you to the many league volunteers who make these events possible. To get more information about all candidates running in the 2020 general election, the Kittitas League has created a nonpartisan online voters guide where you will find links to candidate websites and other helpful resources. You can also get information at vote411.org and at the Washington State Secretary of State's office. Your vote matters. Join me by casting your ballot in the November 3 general election. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody.